Yes, good morning. My name is Gaston Kazimoto, and I'm working with Acme as a full-time intern in the logo department at Acme Widget Company headquarters. So I'm sending this memo to you, Larry Lawrence, on date of 29 September 2020. So the subject of this memo, I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between civil and criminal law. Since the world was created, people, leader, and member of the community have been using the law for guiding, leading their country, society, community, or any organization. So the reason why we had country constitution, organization law, and regulation, and anyone or any person, any individual would like to violate that law is a subject to approach, criticism, and condemnation. So in addition, among different law that we have, there is a criminal law, which is the most ancient branch of the law, and it does involve the states because crime involves some harm to society and not just harm to certain individual. In another word, the mother person belong to the state, and the governor should defend that person. For example, can give you an example. I remember the time when I was in my home country. There is a certain commander. He was a colonel that period. The name of that person was called Simba Husseini. So that person came uh, at a certain factory and would like to get a tie for his car or his jeep because he was a commander and himself could be able to drive his jeep. So he wanted to get a tie for free, but the manager of that company refused and said, no, Simba, I'm not the owner of this company. I'm only saving here and I've been hired. So if I give you a tire without any proof or money from you, my work will be at risk. So, it was during the rebellion, it was during the war. So the commander didn't appreciate the way he was treated by that manager. So suddenly he took his gun and he shot on that guy, and suddenly that guy was killed at the field. So it was a big panic because the employee who have been working that side, they were looking for rescue. Then the guy took his jeep and he went away. But the owner of that company, when he came and he listened, he heard what happened. So they brought that case to the court, and I remember it was the military, uh, the military court which received that issue, and they called Simba Husseini and to defend himself if why he did that action. So I remember I was there. I saw how they were asking him question and how many lawyers came just for the part of defendant and the part um, of the people who accused that Simba Hussein. So it was a big audience. People was there. The crowd of people happened to that audience, and finally, because it took many months before the decision be taken by the court. But they found Simba Hussein guilty, and he was accused for that murder. He was accused for that murder, and the decision was to take him for all his life in the prison. I said this because when we are talking about a criminal law, we see the person, it doesn't belong to a family. A person doesn't belong to himself, but it belongs to the nation. And when you kill a person, when you take the life of any person, it is like you are aggressing, you are taking the government, the state. So the state should defend that person. The reason why he was condemned for that action. So we know that the life of the human being is something very, 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 very um, uh, respectful. Is something that we should honor because it's God who gave the life to that person, and you are not a person who can take that life by force or who can kill that person. And when you kill that person, the government or the state should defend that person. So that is the example that I remember when that happened, and it was in my country. So when we see the same idea of a criminal law, it doesn't only refer to a person who killed and that law can be applied. But also it can be some country, they may take the criminal or they may use criminal law. For example, when in Uganda, homosexuality is taken as a criminal because the country doesn't allow homosexuality in Uganda, so they take it like a criminal, and the government should condemn you if you are a gay guy, a gay person. But also in Zimbabwe, that can happen too. But also, I believe in country, some in many countries, when, for example, you do not take care or you do not keep the state secret, this I may take it like a criminal action because you are violating the rule and the regulation of that country. Because you as a leader, you as a state member, you are not supposed to reveal the secret of your country. And some country like North Korea, they may kill you. Some country, many country in the world, when you do things like that, you reveal the state secret, you are subject to many, many condemnation. So this is the first one. Um, in other country, even we can talk about the criminal law when, for example, there is genocide, there is a war, there is a suicide. All this, they are part of the criminal law. But let me talk a little bit about also the civil law. The civil law is the body of rule that define and protect the private rights of a citizen of a legal remedy that may be sought in a dispute and cover area of law such as contract, tort, property, and family law. It can be also the body of the law that govern the governor ordinary private matters separate from law, presiding over criminal, military, or political matter. The body of law that govern private or civil rights, providing redress for wrong by compensating the person or entity that has been wronged rather than punishing the wrongdoer. What I'm trying to say here is when we are talking about the civil law, we see how a problem can happen between individual. For example, I've got uh, my dog bites a kid of my neighbor. So this is part of a civil law because we need to go to the court and court will defend, will see why this happened, and it cannot take too much time because it's simple, the matter of making the two parts understand the issue and also think about the solution. Maybe they can say, you, because of this. So when we see the law say that your dog should be kept at your home. You are not supposed to untouch your dog because it can bite people. So because of that, you have to pay money. You have to pay some fees because of this action. Or for example, there is an accident between two people, a car crash. So this we use the civil law in the way that there is a problem between two people. In this case, we don't have a murder, so that the government should be involved or the state should be involved. But here, we just go to the court, which is nearby, and that court is going to listen to those two people and try to resolve this problem according to what the article, according to the law or the constitution is talking about this issue. So that we think that is a civil law because it's only between people. Any misunderstanding can happen. Maybe we violate the contract. Maybe the person who was hired for a work doesn't listen, doesn't follow what his boss is telling him, or maybe you want to resign a job, you want to quit a job. So all those things, they are part of the civil law, and it's a matter of resolving them so that these two people, they can feel comfortable because the law has pronounced what is right. Thank you for listening to me, and this idea I had, and that I share with you, Mr. Larry. Thank you very much.